been a member of Toastmasters for 35 years. He owns a small, very small, communications company and is the author of 2 books, The Art of Effective Living and The Art of Effective Communication. He backpacks around Spain for about 2 months each year and runs courses on personal strength. His speech tonight is going to be called The Tears of Brahma. Would you like to come up and join us?
Sure. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and honoured guests. Before I start, I'd like to ask a very small question, which I would like you to answer by a show of hands. How many people here believe in magic? Maybe 6 of you out of 70 people. Well, that's to be expected. You're all pragmatic, upwardly mobile, smart Toastmasters. But I'm hoping that at the end of my 5-minute presentation, you will believe in magic as I do. I've believed in magic ever since I began to understand Dr. Leslie's 3 questions that he gave me when I was 19 years of age. He told me that I would never have the answer to the questions, but when I understood them, I would believe in magic as he did. Now, you may ask, who was Dr. Leslie? And what were his 3 questions? And I'm glad you asked, because surprise, surprise, I'm going to tell you. He was my family physician from when I was about 14 years of age until I came to Canada when I was 30. He was a strange little man, 85 pounds in weight, about 4'10" tall, skinny as a rake, skin as black as burnished ebony. When he looked at you through his dark horn-rimmed glasses, looking deep into the recesses of your soul, you thought that he was a witch doctor. I believe now that he was. But he was an excellent doctor, well trained in Western medicine, and also in the Ayurvedic tradition of Sri Lanka, his homeland. He was into meditation, reincarnation, mysticism. And being an impressionable young 19-year-old, I used to stay late when I used to go to his clinic so that I could tap his mind about the East. And on one of these occasions, I said to him, Dr. Leslie, do you believe in magic? As quick as a flash and with a certain degree of impatience, he said to me, well, of course I do, young man. Why do you ask? Well, you're a scientist. It surprises me, that's all. With a little more kindness this time, he said, I'm going to tell you a story. And at the end of my story, I will ask you 3 questions. You will never have the answer, but when you understand them, you will believe in magic. And here is his story. Many of his patients were elderly, simple country folk from the little villages around the capital of Sri Lanka, who went to England with their well-educated children. On one of these, an elderly man of about 70 came to him one day complaining, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I've lost interest in life. What do I do? So Dr. Leslie said, here's what you do. Every morning before dawn, I want you to rise and go for a long walk in the Daranth Valley. It was a very pretty valley near where we lived. And I want you to take with you a teaspoon. And every 50 yards or so, I want you to bend over and put a tiny drop of dew in the teaspoon. And when you've collected about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and the sun is beginning to rise in the heavens, I want you to turn your eyes to the sky, breathe deeply, think of Brahma, that's the Hindu name for God, and drink the water, and you will be cured. Because these are not ordinary drops of water. When Brahma wakes every morning and sees the beautiful world that he has created, he weeps tears of joy. So these are not ordinary drops of water. These are the tears of Brahma. Needless to say, the old fellow went off to collect his month's supply of Brahmanic tears. And he came back a month later, fully cured, with high energy and a refreshed interest in life. And now his three questions. Was he cured because the water was magic? Now if you deny this, which as a Westerner you may well do so, don't forget that you will be denying a tradition half as old as time, created by men and women infinitely wiser than you. And don't forget, in your own tradition, you drink the blood and eat the body of your own Redeemer, in the belief that it is sacred. Or, having rejected this, you may say, was he cured not because it was magic, but because he believed it was magic, thus igniting the magical process between the mind and the body? Or was he cured because if an old man walks 5 miles every morning and bends over every 50 yards, his body is going to feel better? Over the years, I've thought about the question. And as I enter, which is quite feasibly the last 15 years of my life, I think I know the answer. To start with, they are the same question. And what I think they mean is that we are surrounded by magic every minute of every hour, of every day, of every week, of every month. But we are so familiar with it, we take it for granted. The magic, for instance, when a young man gently touches the hand of a young girl, and in that moment of gentle touching, you see the awesome majesty of nature in its eternal quest for renewal. The magical message that inspires a piece of dead root every spring for the last 50 million years to thrust its way to the sun. The magic. When on a dark, warm night in the summer, in the Muskokas, you turn your eyes to the stars and you stare into that vast cathedral of 1 billion dancing stars, and you know that every single one obey the same laws as an electron as it dances its mystical dance around its own lonely atom. If this is not magic, I am not standing before you tonight, and my words are an illusion. Madame Comtesse Chen.